All right, and we are live for episode number 6. And this episode, we will be looking at a notice of dishonor. Notice of dishonor. Okay, and so the notice of dishonor can be found in the Bill of Exchange Act. This is the Bill of Exchange Act on the Justice Law's website. And if we read through it briefly, let's look at what the Bills of Exchange Act is. Things must be done in good faith. Well, I think we'll take a few notes while we're doing this. Signature is necessary. That is point number 4. That is also relevant. Computation of time, checks, etc., etc. A bill or note, right? A bill or note so this act governs bills of exchange, checks, and promissory notes, right? So what is a check? A check is something that is issued on our behalf, basically, to another individual via a bank, right? A promissory note is just me promising to you or to someone else or to whoever holds this note to pay that money, right? A bill of exchange is an order to pay a certain amount of money to a person, right, from another person, right? So essentially, I don't know if they're doing it explicitly or not, but essentially when I am ordered to do something, they're creating a bill of exchange in the essence of what a bill of exchange is. And so, since they're following the verbiage and the definitions, right? Right, an endorsement here. Endorsement means an endorsement completed by delivery. Well, where else do we hear the word endorsement, right? Where else do we hear all of this, all of these definitions? It is in the orders that are endorsed, right? In the endorsement by the family law process. So if they're going to create an instrument that encompasses the essence of a bill of exchange, then they should comply with it, right? Because a bill of exchange is pretty straightforward. Like you have certain things that you must have on your bill of exchange, and if you have these things, you have a bill of exchange. Well, guess what? The order that they give us has all of these things, right? So, and I can't, maybe if there's interest, we can go through the Bill of Exchange Act line by line and try to understand what the fuck all this shit says. If there's interest, it might be good. I have an understanding of the essence of what this bill is. A sum certain. Well, yeah, there is a sum certain on the order, right? It doesn't have to be dated. If we go through line by line, we will see that all of the requirements for a bill of exchange are followed, right? And so, the drawee's name, guess who the drawee is, guys? Acceptance is invalid unless it complies with the... Okay, so this is what I want to do now, is I want to not accept this bill, right? So if they're going to create this order that fulfills the essence of a bill of exchange, I want to not accept it. Like, sorry guys, I'm not allowing some legal fiction corporation, that is claiming government powers to to indebt me, right? To bond me, to enslave me. No, thank you. I will kindly decline your bullshit offer. And so I think the way to do that is, table of contents, let's go. I think there is a discharge here, notice of dishonor. So subject to this act, when a bill has been dishonored by non-acceptance or by non-payment, notice of dishonor must be given to the drawer and each endorser or any drawer. Okay, so let's write this down. So what we're going to do is we are going to, those are my notes for later, we are going to create a notice of dishonor. Right, so what are the key points? Sorry, where are we? Here. So what are the key points? When a bill is dishonored by non-acceptance and notice of dishonor is not given, the rights of the holder in due course subsequent to the omission are not prejudiced by the omission. Okay, so the important thing to know about our notice is that there's not a holder in due course. So this would not be relevant to us, right? I think it's a non-negotiable bill of exchange. Notice of subsequent dishonor. When a bill is dishonored by non-acceptance and due notice of dishonor is given, it is not necessary to give notice of a subsequent dishonor by non-payment unless the bill is accepted in the meantime. So once we give what I read this as is, once we give a bill, once we dishonor the note, the bill, then until we accept it, we don't need to give another one for any upcoming payments. We don't need to keep giving a notice of dishonor. One is enough. Notice to acceptor. In order to render the acceptor of the bill liable, it is necessary that notice of dishonor be given to him. So the acceptor of the bill, I believe, will be the endorser or the principal. Okay, we'll take a note of this. Maybe we'll look it up a little bit more later. Margin of note. What does margin of note mean? Okay. And conditions for validity of notice of dishonor in order to be valid and effectual must be given no later than the judicial or business day next following the dishonor of the bill. So we'll try to dishonor the bill today, and then we'll have to deliver it tomorrow. By or on behalf of the holder, or by on behalf of an endorser who at the time of giving notice is himself liable on the bill. So I will give it to the endorser and the holder of the note, which is the applicant. In the case of death, we don't care. In case of two or more drawers or endorsers who are not partners to each of them, unless one of them has the authority to receive notice for others. I think they do have the authority to receive notice to others because they're all agents of the same principal. So I think we'll take note of that too, and we'll say that we don't need to do anything for that. Notice of dishonor may be given as soon as the bill is dishonored to the party to whom the notice is required to be given, or to his agent in that behalf. So we will give it to the endorsers, who are the Madame Justices and Monsieur Justices, or whatever the male role is called. Misdescription. A misdescription of the bill does not I never know how to say this word. Vitiate. I don't know. Let's look it up. Come on, technology. Can you help me? Vitiate. It does not vitiate the notice. And vitiate, of course, means to. Well, let's look at the Black's Law. How do you spell it? Vitiate. To impair, to make void or voidable. Right, that's a lot more. So a misdescription of the bill does not vitiate the notice unless the party to whom the notice is given is in fact misled thereby. So we can actually say this because I was misled by it, right? If they would have called it a fucking bill of exchange, I could have at least looked it up. None of the liars tell you that it's a bill of exchange. So their misdescription of the bill does not vitiate the notice. Form of notice. In point of form, the return of a dishonored bill to the drawer or endorser is a sufficient notice of dishonor. In point of form, I don't know if anybody knows what this means. It can maybe help, maybe reply. I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's important. Form of notice usually means what the form is, right? Or how it can be written. The return of a dishonored bill to the drawer or endorser is sufficient notice. Okay, so if I return the bill and a written notice need not be signed, so I can just return the bill back to them, to the drawer or the endorser, and that doesn't need to be signed. Okay, well, I get the point, but I will not, I will do it formally. Yeah, I will do it formally. Okay, so how do I, what do I want to do? I want to do something like, is there like a strike through or something? Ah, for fuck's sakes. I don't know. Okay, how about I do red? Okay, so if we keep going, a verbal supplement, an insufficient written notice may be supplemented and validated by verbal communication. So maybe my option right there, and I say it, right? The Bill of Exchange Act, as per Section 98, or Paragraph 98, Section 2, an insufficient written notice may be supplemented and validated by verbal communication. So maybe I can just, in fact, verbally supplement my notice of dishonor during the court. So I think that's a very interesting option. So I will leave that there. Notice by agent, where a bill, when dishonored, is in the hands of an agent, he may give notice to the parties liable on the bill, or he may give notice to his principal, in which case the principal, on receipt of the notice, has the same time for giving notice as if the agent had been an independent holder. So this means that when I give notice of dishonor to the agent, which is the endorser of the court, the agent, so probably like in Madame Justice, may himself give notice to the parties liable on the bill so whoever the other endorsers are, I guess those would be the parties liable, or he may give notice to his principal, which in this case is the Superior Court, in which case the principal, on receipt of the notice, has the same time for giving notice as if the agent had been an independent holder. Okay, so that means that the principal will have to give notice, and the principal is the court. Time for notice: where the agent gives notice to his principal, he must do so within the same time as if he were an independent holder. Notice to antecedent parties. Let's see what that means. Should we get the Black's Law one first? Probably. A previously contracted debt and one that was once binding but has since become unenforceable. So this, I think, is applicable to me because I have one of the government's, parasitic organizations leeching money off of me. So I guess they would be called a antecedent party. Oh, that's an antecedent debt. What is an antecedent party? Antecedent. Okay, let's see what the normal definition is. A thing or event that existed before or logically precedes another, preceding in time or order, previous or pre-existing. Okay, so something that existed at a time. So at one point there was a party that had this bill, and once the notice of dishonor happens, then obviously they're no longer parties. Okay, so where a party to a bill receives due notice of dishonor, he has, after the receipt of the notice, the same period of time for giving notice to antecedent parties that a holder has after dishonor. Okay, so a party to a bill has to, am I the party? When a party of a bill receives due notice of dishonor. Okay, so this is important because when I give notice of dishonor to the Madame Justices, I already wrote this down, they then, as per this rule, have to tell the other parties. A notice of dishonor inures for the benefit of notice. A notice of dishonor inures. What does that mean? A notice of dishonor inures for the benefit of all subsequent holders. Oh, inures is something, okay. So comes into effect, takes effect. It's something that is negative. So a notice of dishonor inures for the benefit of all subsequent holders and all prior endorsers who have the right to recourse against the party to whom the notice is given, where given on behalf of the holder. And inures for the benefit of the holder and all endorsers subsequent to the party to whom the notice is given, where given by or on behalf of an endorser entitled under this part to give notice. So a notice of dishonor inures, which means ceases, right? Or comes into effect for the benefit of the holder and all endorsers subsequent to the party to whom the notice is given, where given, by or on behalf of an endorser entitled under this part to give notice. I don't know what that means. How notice addressed. Notwithstanding anything in this act, notice of dishonor of any bill payable in Canada is sufficiently given if it is addressed in due time to any party to the bill entitled to the notice, as is customary address or place of residence, or at the place at which the bill is dated, unless any such party has, under his signature, designated another place, in which case the notice shall be sufficiently given if addressed to him in due time at that other place. Okay, so I should address it to the customary address or place of residence, or at the place at which the bill is dated. So the place at which the bill is dated would be the court, 393 University. Sufficiency of notice. A notice referred to in subsection 1 shall be sufficient, although the place of residence of such party is other than either of the places mentioned in that subsection, and shall be deemed to have been duly served and given for all purposes if it is deposited in any post office, with the postage paid thereon at any time during the day on which presentment has been made, or on the following juridical or business day. Fucking people. Death of party, blah blah blah, miscarriage in post office. So when a notice of dishonor is duly assessed and posted, as provided in section 102, so I should read this again. So when I send it to the customary address or place of residence, or at the place at which the bill is dated, unless any such party has, under his signature, designated another place, in which case the notice shall be sufficiently given if addressed to him in due time at the other place. So as long as I send it to one of the right places. Okay. Excuse for delay. Delay in giving notice of dishonor is excused where the delay is caused by circumstances beyond the control of the party giving notice and not imputable to his default, misconduct, or negligence. Diligence, where the cause of delay is in giving notice of dishonor ceases to operate. The notice must be given with reasonable diligence. Notice dispensed with. Notice of dishonor is dispensed with when, after the existence of reasonable diligence, notice as required by this act cannot be given to or does not reach the drawer or endorser sought to be changed, or by waiver expressed or implied. Or does not reach the drawer or endorser sought to be charged, or by waiver express or implied. Okay, so you can dispense of a notice of dishonor. Time of waiver, dispensing with notice regarding drawer, dispensing with notice regarding an endorser. Okay, so dispensing with notice regarding drawer. So the drawer is the applicant. So notice of dishonor is dispensed with as regards the drawer where the drawer and the drawee are the same person. Okay, that's not the case. The drawee is a fictitious person or a person not having capacity to contract. Well, they are, well, I mean, are they a fictitious person? What is a fictitious person? The drawee is the person to whom the bill is presented for payment. The drawer is the person to whom the bill is presented for payment. Where the drawer is the person to whom the bill is presented for. The drawee or acceptor is, as between himself and the drawer, under no obligation to accept or pay the bill. Is that me? Because I'm the drawee. So the notice of dishonor is dispensed with as regards the drawee, where, so I guess what they're saying is if the drawee or acceptor is under no obligation to accept or pay the bill, the drawer is dispensed with. They don't have to keep paying. They don't have to keep paying the payee. If the drawee, me, or the acceptor, I'm not sure who the acceptor is, as between himself and the drawer, under no obligation to accept or pay the bill, or the drawer has countermanded payment. Countermanded, probably should look up that, right? Countermanded, declared so revoke an order issued by another person. So if they say they don't want it anymore, or if the drawer says they don't want to be paid anymore, then the notice of dishonor is dispensed with as regards the drawer. Okay. Dispensing with notice regarding the endorser. So when is the endorser liable? Notice of dishonor is dispensed with as regards the endorser, where the drawee, me, is a fictitious person or a person not having capacity to contract, and the endorser was aware of the fact at the time he endorsed the bill. Or B, the endorser is a person to whom the bill is present for payment. Okay, so if the endorser is the one who will get paid, then they can be dispensed with. Or the bill was accepted or made for his accommodation. Protest. In order to render the acceptor of the bill liable, it is necessary to protest it. Protest is dispensed with by any circumstances that would dispense with notice of dishonor. Delay in noting or protesting is excused where the delay is caused by circumstances beyond the control of the holder and non-imputable by to his default misconduct or negligence. Delay, diligence, or the cause of the delay. So in order to render the acceptor of a bill liable, it is not necessary to protest it. Okay, so he may still be liable, the acceptor may still be liable, even if it's not protested. A protest is dispensed with. Is dispensed with by any circumstances that would dispense with notice of dishonor. Okay, so these ones here will also dispense the notice of, would also dispense the protest. Foreign bill, I don't think that's applicable. Non-payment Nope. Discharge where a foreign bill is not present as required by this section. The drawee or endorsers are discharged. Protest of inland bill. Okay, so I think we covered notice of dishonor, right? So I think there's also a sample. Let's see. Maybe in the schedule. Here we go. Noting for non-acceptance. Maybe that's all we need, yeah? Protest for non-acceptance or non-payment of a bill. Okay, so let's do this. Let's take that. This is our notice of dishonor. Oh man, why did it do that? Can I just... Oh man. Can I just clear formatting? Okay. So noticing for dishonor, copy of bill and endorsements. So again, the bill is the thing that orders someone to do something or to pay something. On the day of, so let's see, on the 17th day of, what are we in, July 19, no, what do I, in the year of, on the 17th day of, they didn't change it since then, so 2021. The above bill was by me at the request of at the request of me presented for acceptance to EF, the drawee, EF. What does EF mean? On the 17th day of July 2021, the above bill was, so I believe this is signed by the notary, right? So am I EF? How does this thing work? The above bill was by me meaning AB, the notary, at the request of at the request of me, presented for acceptance to EF, so EF will be me, the drawee, personally, in the city, town, or village of, and I received for answer yes. The said bill is therefore noted for non-acceptance. Notary public. Date and place. Okay, I need to figure this out. Okay, let's read the second part. Due notice of the above was made by me, served on AD or CD, the drawer or endorser, personally, on this date in that city, and on this date at that city, in Her Majesty's Post Office in the city, town, village of, and prepaying the postage thereon. On this day, the above bill was by me. Who's me, guys? Me is the notary. Due notice of the above was by me, served on A, B, or CD, the drawer or the endorser, personally on this date. So I will need to do this for sure, right? And so I have both. Okay, so the date and place. So let's say whenever I figure this shit out, hopefully it'll be today. And I am in Quebec City. Quebec. I think there's only one Quebec City. And let's do the same thing here. I gotta find a notary. Due notice of the above was by me, served on, so I think this will be Lena and Justice Kimmel, right? And she is the drawer. Okay, so anybody watching? All right, so let's try this again. AB, what does AB mean? On the day of July 17, 2021, the above bill was by me at the request of, so by me, the notary, at the request of me, presented for acceptance to EF, the drawee, personally, or his office in the town of at the request of, no, the notary was at the request of me presented for acceptance. The bill was presented for acceptance to EF, so EF will be me as well. right? And I am the drawee. Personally, not personally, via email. No. Personally, I'm going to do it via electronic or via video conferencing, right? Or at his residence or usual place of business in the city town of Quebec City. So on the day of July 19th, 2021, the above bill was by me, at the request of me, Lorenzo, presented for acceptance. The bill was by me, at the request of Lorenzo, presented for acceptance to Lorenzo. The bill was so the notary is presenting for acceptance to is presenting the bill for acceptance to me, the drawee, personally via video conference in the city of Quebec, where I am. And I, meaning the notary, receive the answer, I do not accept, I'll write something like that, right? What does of mean, though? In the city town of. And I received for answer, I do not accept, consent, I do not accept. That's it. Who cares? The said bill is therefore noted for non-acceptance. Okay. So what I need to do here then is provide a list of bills and endorsements. So I'm going to find that. There's a bunch of them, all bullshit. Okay, and then once I have that from the notary, I will say due notice of the above was served by me on why is this so complicated? Okay, due notice of the above, so notice of the above note for non-acceptance was by me served on the notary's name, the drawer or endorser personally on that date, oh man, so due notice of the above was by me served on AD or C or AB or CD So AB should be the notary, right? The notary public. So due notice of the above was by me served on AB or CD. The drawer or endorser personally on that date or at his residence, office, or usual business. So, okay, so let's, I don't fully understand all this bullshit, but due notice of the above was served by me on, it says AB, the drawer or endorser personally on the 19th personally, not personally, via email due notice of the above was by me served on AB, the drawer. Let's say Olina was served on Olina, the drawer, via email in the city, town, or village of wherever she is, Etobicoke in Toronto, on the 17th day of July 2020. I don't think this makes much sense. Protest for non-acceptance or non-payment of a bill payable generally. Maybe one of these will make some more sense. So JP is justice of the peace, yeah? Let's see, will they tell us? What is AB? Let's see if Google will tell us. Probably not, because we are behind the legal iron curtain. Look at this, Ghana. Maybe Ghana will tell us. Isn't that amazing? Ghana has the pretty much the exact same thing in English. Probably better than ours too. practical treaties on the bill of exchange, checks on bankers. 4. That whereas the said AB theretofore to wit on blah 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 blah. Is it really so hard to just tell us what ABCD means? Or am I missing something? Okay, guys, I don't know what to do. On the 17th day of July 2021, the above bill was, by me, at the request of Lorenzo, presented for acceptance to Lorenzo, the drawee, personally, via video conferencing in the city town, and I received for answer, I do not accept the said bill for this, therefore noted for non-acceptance. Due notice of the above was by me served on Olena, the drawer, via email in the city of Toronto on the 17th day of. So maybe there's a better one for the second one. So the first one I think makes sense. The second one is maybe the second one is the case where the notary delivers personally. No, I don't get it. Okay, so protest for non-acceptance of non-payment of a bill payable generally on this date in this year. AB, a notary public for the province of Ontario, I assume, dwelling at. Oh no, this is gonna be my notary public, right? Oh, this is a protest for non-acceptance. So this is a notice of non-acceptance, and this is a protest of non-acceptance. So let's see what the difference is. On this date, I, AB, a notary public for the province of Quebec, dwelling at whatever address in the province of Quebec, at the request of me, Lorenzo, did exhibit the original bill of exchange, whereas a true copy is above written onto EF, the drawee, thereof personally or at EF's residence, blah blah blah, and speaking to EF or someone else, did demand acceptance or payment thereof, onto which demand he or she answered no. Wherefore I, the said notary, at the request aforesaid, have protested, and by these presents do protest against the acceptor, the drawer, and endorsers of said bill and other parties thereto or therein concerned, for all exchange, re-exchange, and all cost, damages, and interest present and to come for want of acceptance or payment of the said bill, all of which I attach my protest. So this is for a non-payment, right? Must have protested, and by these presents do protest against the acceptor. Okay, so I can pick acceptance. Okay, so I can try this. Maybe I'll do a few and I'll go to a notary and see what they can do for me. Okay, so that the first one I get, the second one I don't get. Okay, so protest for non-acceptance of a bill generally. Oh, generally I believe it means to anybody. So on this date, on this 17th day of July in the year 2021, I, A.B., Notary Public for the province of dwelling at in the province of Quebec at the request of did exhibit the original bill of exchange, whereas a true copy is written above onto me, the drawee, thereof personally, in Quebec City, and speaking to me, did demand acceptance thereof, unto which demand he or she he answered, I do not accept. Wherefore I, the said notary, at the request aforesaid, have protested, and by these presents do protest against the acceptor, drawer, and endorsers, or drawer and endorsers, I think there's only a drawer and endorser, right? I do not. The acceptor is probably the holder. I gotta look up what the acceptor means. Let's try to look it up quickly. Acceptor, where is acceptor? Liability of acceptor. The acceptor for honor of a bill by accepting it engages that he will on due presentment pay the bill according to the tenor of its acceptance if it is not paid by the drawee. If it has been duly presented for payment and protested for non-acceptance, and if he receives notice of those facts, the acceptor for honor is liable to the holder and to all parties to the bill subsequent to the party. So I don't think we have an acceptor. I think we can keep it in case they imply there's an acceptor. Of said bill and other parties thereto and therein concerned, for all exchange, re-exchange, and all costs. Damages and interest present and to come for want of acceptance of said bill. I think this is beautiful. All of which I attest by my signature. Beauty, absolutely beautiful. Okay, so this I need to do. So this is a protest of non-acceptance. So I need to do that. Protest for non-acceptance, and then a notice for non-acceptance. If anybody knows what the difference is, please tell me. If there's anybody here. Okay, so let's go through some of these other ones quickly. Protest of for non-acceptance of a bill payable at a stated place. I don't think we care about that. Although, if we read it, maybe we'll understand it better. So on this day, in this year, I, A.B., a notary public, for the province of whatever, dwelling at, wherever, in the province of wherever, at the request of Lorenzo, did exhibit the original bill of exchange whereof a true copy is above written onto E.F., that's me, Lorenzo, the drawee, or acceptor thereof, at the place, being the stated place where the said bill is payable, and there speaking to Lorenzo, did demand acceptance of said bill, onto which demand he answered, I do not accept. Wherefore I, the said notary, at the request aforesaid, have protested, this is also a protest, and by these presents do protest against the acceptor, drawer, or endorsers of said bill, and all other parties thereto or therein concerned, for all exchange, re-exchange costs, damages, and interest present and to come for want of said bill, all of which I attest by my signature. Okay, so that's another protest. So there's only one here. Notarial notice of a notarial notice of a noting, or a protest of non-acceptance, or a protest for non-payment of a bill. So to the drawer at, sir, your bill of exchange for dated this day and this day, payable this day, was this day at the request of duly presented, duly noted or protested by me for non-acceptance or non-payment. And that's all you need, I guess, yeah? The notice. And afterwards I, the aforementioned protesting notary public, did serve due notice in the form prescribed by law on the foregoing protest. Oh man, I need to book some time with, or I'll reach out to my group. Okay. Cool. So I think, guys, we have what we need, more or less. I will verify if this is needed. I'll reach out to my groups, see if I can get some help finishing this up. But I think this one looks good. Protest. So to-dos. So let's add a few more to-dos. A few more to-dos will be to find out the difference between a notice and a protest, right? And then get notice notarized. Okay, everybody, that is my attempt at writing a notice of dishonor. I hope you guys were able to follow. If something was unclear, please reach out to me. Reach out in the comments. Otherwise, lorenzofamilylaw@gmail.com. Let me know if I'm on the right track. And thank you guys for your time. I will check you guys back soon. Thank you.